there. Today is week 31 of our RYT 200 registered yoga teacher training. I'm going to turn on this beautiful salt lamp that one of our graduates, Cleo Byrne, has generously given us. And she also runs retreats in Barcelona, which is a super awesome special getaway for those of you who have tried it. You know this already. Let us begin by taking a comfortable seated position. You can sit on a mat. You can even sit on the side of your bed or in a chair. I love to say that yoga was invented before yoga equipment was invented. So even though I have some fancy schmancy equipment, you truly do not need anything but yourself. If you are more comfortable sitting on a block or cushion, please feel free to do so. And let's just take a minute to breathe together. You can have your hands on your knees or your hands up. And we'll just take a few breaths. Remembering that your own natural rhythm of your breath is a breathwork technique. And you can just master yourself. What is your own natural rhythm? Does your nose whistle when you breathe? Do you find naturally your inhales and exhales are equal, or is one longer than the other? Do you like to breathe through your nose or through your mouth? How does it feel to just sit and be still? As we contemplate how it feels to sit and be still, I'm going to talk with you a little bit about this. So there is a story from a pastor that says, "My church has grown so big, I don't know what to do. It just happened to us. We're so busy," etc., etc. And another pastor said to this pastor, "The growth of your church didn't just happen to you. It's a big church, and that's okay. You intentionally took steps to grow your business, which is the church, big." And the other pastor said, no, I didn't. I'm just so busy. Like, it just keeps on growing. It's like flourishing unexpectedly. We never imagined our business to flourish like this. We're just talking, we're welcoming Peter Icavello, our lead trainer. We have the pose of the week, forearm plank, and he knows left to my own devices, I'm gonna try to talk my way out of it, which is why I'm breaking all the rules here at ShareLove.Fund, like talking about religion and everything. But he is here to make sure that I actually do the work of forearm plank. When I saw forearm plank on the agenda today, I tried to get a quick ticket to Mexico, but that didn't work.
She always, just to FYI, when it ever comes to forearm plank or any type of plank, she always tries to get a quick ticket out of here.
So now that he's calling me out, but we're still live, so he has to be polite, so I'll finish my story quickly. But basically, the senior pastor said, no, this didn't just happen to you. Your business grew because that's what you wanted. You took intentional and strategic steps to make it grow, and that's okay. That's okay to have something big. And the other pastor said, no, truly, I didn't. Like, there's no logic of why this congregation is so rapidly growing. And then the senior pastor said, maybe you don't understand why your congregation is growing, but you keep on adding chairs. And as long as you keep on adding chairs, you're accommodating the growth. because you must want it. So as we try to experience stillness today, you might say, well, I can't be still because I have 45 emails that have just come in while we've started this class. And I can't be still because I have all these kids and I have soccer games or whatever is going on. Or I can't be still because I have aging parents who need this or need that. But the thing is that every time you say yes because you don't want to say no, you are actually also saying no to something else. So when you're saying yes to work, don't say, oh, I'm just a person who can't say no, because when you're saying yes to work, you are literally saying no to stillness. And that's fine, but just know what you're doing. Take responsibility for it. These things don't just happen to us. We are busy, maybe because we are choosing to say no to homelessness and yes to job security. And that's okay. Life is about trade-offs. But busyness didn't just happen to you. It's a choice. Okay, there are some people that are vagabonds. So it's a choice. And when we remember that it's a choice, it actually feels a little empowering. I will give Peter the floor with that spiel.
Would you mind if I just elaborate just a little bit?
Yeah, please.
What a perfect, you know, it's such a perfect theme, because when you say no to stillness, I love that. When you say no to stillness, you're saying no to investing in yourself, right? So in order for us to be able to give freely and abundantly and without attachment, just like all the yogic scriptures says, let's just put it point and straight. In Western society, for us to be able to give fully and not regret, or like, oh my God, I can't do this right now, or, you know, we've all been in that moment. If you invest in yourself, even if it's a minute of stillness, 5 minutes of stillness, if it's holding a plank like we're about to do, or if it's some movement, or just taking that pause, just taking a breath, pushing it away for a moment, you'll come at whatever it is you're about to approach a little bit more level-headed, a little bit more mindful, however you want to use that term, and without so much anxiety towards that, whatever you're about to do. A lot of times we actually said it perfectly. It's a choice. So all these layers that keep us busy are because we chose that. We said yes to it. That doesn't mean it's bad, but we all have to say yes to us first. That's a lesson that took me a long time to develop, and I practice that every single day. I'm a yes person. I don't like to say no. However, I do say no at times for my own self-preservation. You know, being in the wellness industry for over 25 years now has taught me that I need to say yes more to me at times, so that I am not exhausted. I am not mentally drained. I do have time to be present for others. Work, home, grandchildren, daughter, girlfriend, you know, business partner, here with Ashley to do these videos. I have to be present, because suppose I am not present and Ashley is in a pose that's a balancing pose and I'm not present. It's on me if she hurts herself. We don't want that, right? So think about that. Think about investing. Think about saying yes to you, not that you're saying no to everybody else, as an investment towards yourself, towards your goodwill towards others.
I love it. On my shirt, I'm just going to zoom in. It says ShareLove.Fund, investing in youth and women. I don't know if you can see it. So let's invest in ourselves today.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that, Ashley, because it's so important. It's
Yeah,
so
no,
important.
thank you for
It's so
investing in youth and women today.
I love investing. So with that said, let's create maybe an intention around that. Maybe. You know, intentions again are It's just an offering. Yoga is an offering. Exercise is an offering. Movement is an offering. Whatever you don't feel like doing, don't. And don't feel guilty about not doing it. We have to wake up. We have to brush our teeth, right? We have to shower. Or there are going to be people that won't want to be around us if we don't, right? If we don't brush our teeth, there's going to be a few people that's going to probably, you'll keep a distance from you too, right? So just know that, right? So there's certain things that are part of our daily rituals that are automatic. Make stillness part of that ritual. Make pause part of that ritual. Make that automatic. Train the mind. The mind can control us if we allow it. But if you train your mind to pause, take a moment of breath, a moment of stillness, a moment to soften, a moment to feel what it's like to be this human being, not this constant human doing, right? So what is your choice? Do you want to be a human being, loving, caring, kind, has compassion towards oneself and others, or a human doing, which eventually you become bitter, angry, not wanting to, exhausted, creating habits that maybe that won't serve you in the future. So it's a choice, human being or human doing. And let's breathe into that. On your next inhale through the nose, fill the belly like a balloon. And then pause. Pause. Relax your shoulders, soften the face, and breathe out through the mouth with a sigh. Inhale through the nose. Pause. And exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Inhale. And exhale. With each inhale, expanding and oxygenating our body with fresh oxygen. As we exhale, ridding our body of what no longer serves us, saying yes to everything. Notice if you're forcing your breath, allow it to flow. Inhale. And exhale. So we're going to just go over one breath here called Ujjayi breath, or ocean sounding breath, or Darth Vader breath, which however you want to refer to it. And it's a constriction of the back of the throat. And it's a constant cycle of inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And what you're doing is creating what's called vagal tone. So you're stimulating your vagus nerve, which they call the wandering nerve, which touches every single organ in your upper part of your body. So it's like you're massaging your internal organs. Does that sound cool? So it sounds like this. So at your own pace, constricting the back of the throat, maybe cup your ears with your hands. It sounds like an ocean sound, like you have seashells over your ears. then slowly begin to return to your normal cycle of breath. Placing your hands on your thighs. Feel that tingliness maybe in your fingertips, in your jaw, maybe in your nose, maybe in your face, maybe in your internal organs. And very slowly allow the eyes to float open. And as you take the light of the room back in, just begin to notice how you feel without judgment. It's not about doing it right, it's just about doing it. With practice, everything you want comes to you. So taking a moment of pause is a practice. Taking a moment of breath is a practice. The one beautiful thing about the human body is that when you go to sleep at night, your body self-regulates and you come back to your normal cycle of breath. A lot of times we live in our chest and we become chest breathers. So it becomes so challenging to take a pause because we don't know how to breathe. So just before we practice our pause, practice to sit to learn how to breathe with yourself. Try that on for a while. And you'll automatically be pausing while you're breathing. And then when you're ready, Ashley, come onto your back. We're going to ease you into this class today. So just come onto your back. Hug your knees to chest. Just notice what it's like to have your back planted on the ground. Maybe this is your first practice of the year. Maybe it's not. Who knows? That's only up to you to know that. Whether it's your first practice of the year, maybe your fifth practice of the year, or your third, or your fourth. Doesn't matter. Here we are in the present moment with what we have. Plant your hands onto the earth and extend your legs toward the sky. Nice and slow with your knees slightly bent. And then walk your shoulders away from the ears. Pull the belly in to support your spine. Lift your head, tuck your chin, and then press the back of the head down. And now bring your knees over your hips. So bring your knees back. Yes. That forces you to engage your core, which is already cheating, folks.
Caught on tape.
Breathe in.
No, it wasn't me.
And breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Now begin to extend your arms up toward the sky, palms facing in towards one another. Belly in, so draw your shoulders down and away from the ears. Yes. Now imagine you had a block between your hands and just, bring your arms just slightly closer. Perfect. That helps engage your oblique muscles, your core. So we're warming up Ashley's core to ease her into our pose of the day. And then very slowly hug your knees to chest. Stretch out that lower back. Now, let's take your elbows in on the inner half of the knees, both elbows, and then come into a happy baby. Press the lower back down. Lift your head, tuck your chin. Press the back of your head down. Now see if you can press your sacrum down together. Yes, get that stretching. Do you feel the stretch in your hamstrings, inner thighs?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And breathe into that space. Inhale and very slowly begin to plant your feet onto the earth. Arms alongside you. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up toward the sky. Walk your feet just a little closer together so that they're hip width apart. Perfect. And then walk your hands back. Walk your heels back towards your hands, sorry. Beautiful. Now inhale. Exhale, lift your chin just ever so slightly. Now lift your hips as well. And breathe into that space. Why do you think I had Ashley lift her chin so she can breathe a little easier? Couple more breaths here, Ashley. Inhale. Exhale, press up a little higher if you can. And then very, very slowly, begin to bring your hips down toward the earth. And then hug your knees to chest. Beautiful. And bring the arms up to shoulder height out onto the ground.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, just extend them out to shoulder height. Yeah. And then lower your knees over towards the left. Look over your right shoulder. And breathe into that space. And then inhale, bring the knees up to center. Exhale them over to the right side. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale, the knees come up to center. Exhale, come right back into happy baby. Let's take a few breaths in this happy baby. Maybe you feel a little bit more of a stretching in your inner thighs. Maybe you feel your lower back stretching more. Hamstrings. Just on whatever it is you feel. And then very slowly begin to bring the knees together and come on over onto either your right or left side. Gently press yourself up into a seated position again. Just for a moment, take a pause before we transition to our next few poses. So you did some twisting. So we did 6 movements of the spine, which is very important before you start your yoga practice. We did it very gently. We did forward fold, right? How do we do a forward fold? Dead bug.
Okay,
It's like upside down, downward dog.
So yeah.
That's a forward fold. Yeah. And then when you were on your back, you lifted your hips. Mm-hmm. So we did a back extension, right? So we did back and forth.
The bridge pose.
And then we did the twist to twist the spine. And then when your arms came out to the side, you were able to stretch the lateral side of each of the body as well. So always a madness to the method. So from here, I'm going to ask you to come onto all fours. And let's do some cat-cows with your toes tucked. Spread your fingertips wide. Good job, Ashley. Nice and easy. Easing into the space. Couple more breaths. All right, now coming to a neutral spine. With the toes tucked under, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Slight bending your knees, spread your fingertips wide. She's already beating her first slide of the year. Lower your heels to earth if you can. Now step your feet towards your hands, come to a forward fold. Hug your opposite elbows. Breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. Now from here, inhale, half lift. Exhale, come to stand, mountain pose. Just hang in your mountain pose and then envision your body moving with ease, maybe into.
I'm gonna slip and get a little water.
Yeah, take it with you.
So, modify for
That's right.
what you need. All of you are going to be teacher trainees or teachers, and part of being a teacher is deciding. So start being a teacher while you're a student in this class and make little adjustments.
That's right.
To maximize the benefits for you.
See, that's a practice of that's an act of self-care, what she just did. She took a pause from mountain pose, which is a pausing pose anyway, and she went and she got some water because she knew she needed it. Self-care. So this way she can give to us, right? So it seems like a small task, which it is, because it's an everyday thing. She's just drinking water, but if you look behind it, though, it's an act of self-care, right? So inhale, arms reach out and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant the hands onto the earth and step back to plank. Exhale, shift your weight forward. Drop the knees down, chest and chin straight between the hands. Inhale, press yourself up into cobra. Pressing the tops of the thighs down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, Ashley. Inhale, rise up high to the tippy toes. Exhale, over the heels. Inhale, rise up high to the tippy toes. Exhale, over the heels. Inhale, nice and high. Exhale, over the heels. And then roll forward into plank with another inhale. And then come onto your forearms. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come up to the hands. Breath in. Breath out. Step your feet towards your hands. Forward fold. Breathe. And now from here, inhale, come to a half lift. Exhale, mountain pose.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but I guess I'm not sorry because I'm doing it
Sorry, not sorry.
intentionally. It didn't just happen to me. But since we have you, Peter, as the anatomy guru with over 25 years experience, I was just interested, because a lot of our viewers are interested in fitness. If you think of anatomy or fitness reasons of why would you do forearm plank as opposed to regular plank, or even the act of going in and out of forearm plank from regular plank, what is each plank doing and stuff like that. I was thinking maybe as we do it, maybe giving some of our viewers some tips.
I love it.
So you can use forearm plank in a tool belt as a tool in your tool belt and pull it out when you want to achieve some of the things it helps you achieve.
So forearm plank is a precursor to arm balances, right? Think about crow, think about headstand, think about dolphin, think about, any type of,
like that.
Exactly. And it's also a big time shoulder strengthener. Tricep strengthener, shoulder strengthener. And also, if you just shift your weight forward just a bit more. Good. Now lift your chest. Good. But no, your chest, that's your belly. There you go. Now, tuck your chin back. Good. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Good job there. Now you feel a lot more emphasis on your core, don't you?
Yes.
When you're not in this position, now shift your weight back a little bit. Good.
So much easier.
So much easier, right? So we avoid our core at all costs. Right? So think about, It's a big time core strengthener,
I'm
shoulder strengthener.
also gonna say sometimes to get in the right position, maybe modify.
Absolutely.
So like here I was cheating with my tush up. If this is too intense,
Just drop
I
a
can
knee.
drop a knee.
Yeah, just drop a knee.
Sorry,
So,
interrupt.
that's okay, no. Now coming back to a high plank, we'll explain there. Good, she modified it herself. So it's less pressure on your triceps and shoulders, more pressure on your chest, and emphasis on your core. Breathe. Not that it's not strengthening your chest and shoulders, but it's much more emphasis when you're on your shoulders. It's much more gravitational pull towards the earth. So think about it. The closer you are to the earth, the much more of a gravitational pull.
Okay, so it's more intense being lower.
I feel like it is.
Yep.
So tell me, from your perspective, which is more intense? They're both intense for you, right?
Yeah,
But this
but
is
then,
definitely.
I think, yeah, I thought it's just because the delicious ground seems so tempting, but yeah, it's interesting. Please, viewers, try it and see what feels more intense to you, but be sure to roll forward.
Always. Heels over your toes.
You
Step
can
your,
come back to down dog too.
yep, step your feet towards your hands.
Okay.
And come to a forward fold and relax. Well, thank you for that tip, and thank you for mentioning the anatomy aspect of it, because it's so important, right? We can have an anatomy lesson every time we teach, right?
That's true.
An anatomy tip. So reach your hands under your toes, and now slight bend your knees. Draw your forehead to knees. Now, imagine gluing your forehead towards your knees, and then now straighten out your legs with your forehead to knees. So this, when you stretch like this, you're stretching out the back of your shoulders, lower back, hamstrings, upper back. Do you feel all that going on, Ashley?
Yeah, it feels so good.
Good, 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 good. And the emphasis here is not to lock out the knees, slight bend, but to try to get your forehead to the knees. Guess what else you're doing? You're supporting your immune system, increasing your metabolic rate, working on the pelvic floor. And if you pull the belly in, you're toning your abs to support you and protecting your spine. Slide the hands out from beneath the toes. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, mountain pose. Good job, Ashley. Inhale, reach the arms out and overhead. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, forearm plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward. There you go. Look at that ever so slightly. And try to get those elbows beneath the shoulders. Good. Breathe, Ashley. Drop the right knee. And lift. No.
Oh,
Slow.
left.
Yep.
Okay.
So now keep both feet tucked. Keep both feet tucked. Come into a plank. Come into forearm plank.
This is.
Come into forearm plank.
Wait, forearm plank. Okay.
Just drop the right knee down.
Rogue.
Right knee down.
Right knee
Now
down.
lift. Now lift.
Lift what?
Your right knee.
Okay.
Left knee down. Lift. But don't lift the hips. Just drop the knee.
Okay. Don't cheat. Okay, I'm focused. I'm gonna give it
You
another
want some
try.
help?
Is that
You want some help?
like an escape route would be cool.
Just drop the knee down once. Lift. The other knee. Once. Lift. Now. Child pose.
Okay.
That's all we want you to do.
Child pose is the escape route. It is that Staples easy button.
Yes, it is. Or maybe Ashley wants the easy button to eject me out of here.
Yeah. I want the results. I just, the work part is a little tough.
One of my clients wants me to he wants me to invent some type of capsule or some type of something that you take when you go to sleep and you wake up like a Greek god. So I'm trying to get that going for him. I just hope he has to be the major investor in that.
But the interesting thing about that and about society, and this is why not having judgment is so important, and self-love and being kind and compassionate to yourself. So back in the day when people had hard labor jobs, like in ancient China, it was considered to be low class to be tan and fit, and being pale with dripping fat.
Yep.
was
Considered
a
wealth.
sign of
Wealth.
wealth.
Yeah.
And now in our society, where in America we do have an abundance of fattening food, it's now considered to be a sign of wealth to be tan and fit. Because I guess if you're living the life of luxury, you're, you know, on a yacht with a chef, a private chef kind of thing. And so it's just so funny, like the second it becomes very easy to be fit like a Greek god, then society will say something else is to be desired.
That's right.
So it is human nature for the grass to always be greener on the other side. So that is why, as hard as it is, we have to enjoy the process.
Yes.
Because it's not really about the result. It's a moving target. So it's like the value. I was originally pushing myself for forearm plank, saying, oh my gosh, I want to tone up. That's the value. But actually the value is in making me work today and experiencing the value of work.
That's right. So it's not about the result, it's about how you felt on your way there.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just like that old thing that people say in yoga. You've heard this many times. You've seen these quotes on Instagram or TikTok or wherever the heck you get your quotes from. It's not about the fold in the forward fold. It's how present you are on the way down. Right? So it's not about the result, because the result is the result. It's about how to get, what's going on, how you get there.
And that's annoying to some of us because it's not as concrete. It's not like a to-do list thing to check off, but that's where the meaning is.
That's right. All right, young lady. See, she's talking to try to get out of the forearm plank.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So we're gonna experience a couple of different types of forearm planks, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna have you come up into tabletop. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, forearm plank. Inhale, drop your right knee down. Good. Now, turn your right hand in towards your left elbow. Good. Now, come on over onto your right side. And stack your left knee on top of your right. So both knees bent.
But maybe like more
More.
straight.
Yep. And then extend your right arm. Look, your
Yeah, I don't know
left
if
arm
it's
up
straight.
toward the sky. There you go. So there's a modified forearm plank on the right side. How awesome is that? You keep lifting up through the hips. And there's so many things you can do here. You can lift the hips up and down, right? Slow, 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 slow. To really get that oblique muscle to work.
It's also a stretch.
Absolutely. That's one. And then from here you can extend the left leg out if you want to. Just straight out. Beautiful. You can do that. That's another way. And then from here, come back down onto your left forearm. And then come back to forearm plank. Beautiful, actually. Now drop the left knee down. Good. Turn your left hand into your right forearm. And then come on over onto your left side. Stack your left on top of right. Bring your legs out a little more. Yeah, there you go. And then bring your hips forward towards me a bit. Yeah. And you can stay right there, or you can go up and down if you like. There you go. Beautiful. So we'll give her a little break here. Come down onto your right forearm. And then stay in modified plank on your knees. So this is another version of forearm plank. Bring your elbows forward a bit, Ashley. Good. Pull the belly and just lift up through the hips just a bit. So, can you stay there? You been there for like a half hour? No. So what's amazing is that I'm just going to come on the opposite side of you here. Just want to show our viewers just something. So see how she has a little sway here? I want to get that out. So I want her, yes. So that's about pulling the navel in towards the spine. Imagine if I had a handle, and I'm going to ask Ashley, imagine pushing with your belly button, pushing my hand. That gets the navel to spine. That gets her pelvic floor engaged. So now she's a little straighter here. Then I take my hand, press your head up into my hand. There you go. Relax your shoulders. And then now, just a little shift. Now imagine squeezing your legs together. That engages her glutes, hamstrings. So this is what we want. It's not about that straight V going all the way down. It's about engaging here, right through the core, engaging all through here to take pressure off the arms. Even though she still feels her arms, she probably has a little bit less pressure on them because she's engaging more muscles. Now come on to the belly and rest. Make yourself a little pillow, bend your knees, sway your feet side to side.
Helps to have the guided modification because when somebody says pull up, I end up pulling up my hips or
lots of people
glutes,
do.
and instead of pulling up through the navel. So I love that idea that there's like a handle connected to your belly button. So you kind of pull up there. And the cat-cow warm-ups in the beginning are great because it puts you in touch with that part of your body.
Exactly. So can I ask you just a question here? When you pulled the belly button up more, did you feel a little bit less pressure on the arms, or still the same?
So it was good because I feel like it's human nature to always kind of think the worst or have, kind of think of imminent doom sort of thing. So when you had me pull it up, I'm like, oh, this is rough. Now I'm really engaging my core and really working. And I wouldn't have thought of the positive. And then when you said, oh, it's, I bet your arms aren't working so much, I thought,
Yeah, it only takes so much force to get you here, right? So if you're feeling it in your arms, but then you activate your stomach, well, by nature, your arms are going to be working less because it only takes so much force to keep you up. So it definitely did relieve my arms. I would not have even noticed though because I was too busy complaining about my stomach having to show up to work.
All right, now from here, let's tuck the toes under and inhale, power through a regular plank. Come right up onto the arms. Beautiful, shift your weight forward. Good. Hug your thighs in towards one another. Pull the belly in, imagine that little handle. There you go. Perfect, Ashley. Perfect, shoulders away from your ears. Turn your eyes at the elbows or elbow creases forward. Good job, Ashley. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Beautiful. Now from here, step your feet towards your hands. Forward fold. Take all the weight off your arms. Hug the opposite elbows. Get the stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slide your hands beneath your toes. Stretch the back of the body. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. Press into the feet, exhale, mountain pose. And enjoy the journey in mountain pose. Enjoy the peace, enjoy the rest, enjoy the reset for a moment. See, no weight on the hands, no weight on anything else, all good here. Now imagine your body doing the most challenging forearm balances and plank pose, forearm planks and all that other stuff. Just imagine your body doing it. Feel the ease, connecting to core, taking weight off, shifting the energy towards other muscles to help assist us. So inhale, arms reach out and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, come onto your forearms. Inhale, walk your feet towards your hands. So this is dolphin pose, another core strengthener. You can have your knees bent. I would have you bring your elbows slightly closer to your ears. There you go. Breathe there, Ashley. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, inhale. Walk your feet back out to forearm plank. Beautiful. Turn your right elbow in towards turn your right hand in towards your left elbow. Now, come over onto your right side. Stack your left leg on top of your right. Stack the ankles and heels. Now lift up to those hips for 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower the left hand down, left forearm down. Come onto forward. Shift your weight forward, forearm plank. Now turn your left hand in towards your right elbow and come onto your left side. Forearm plank on the left side. Beautiful. Breathe in. You can have your client go up and down. There's so many different things here to do. You can kick your right knee up towards your chest. Yep, these are so many different things to do. And then you can bring your right arm down, come back into forearm plank. Breathe here, Ashley, you got this, you got this. Pull the belly in, pull it in, and rest.
Okay.
Child's pose. Take arms, so bring your arms alongside you so your arms can fully rest.
Okay, awesome.
Your arms fully rest.
It's about to form a union.
Hard labor here. She's forming a union against a yoga union for forearm plank prevention. Tough wages.
It's good to have a cause.
Yes, it is. Breathe. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, Ashley. I know these are not your favorite. As she said when she first learned that we were doing this today, she says, oh man, it's not my favorite.
Thank you for translating for YouTube. So not get us kicked off the channel.
Nope. You have to
Yes,
translate.
sign me up for the Savasana class.
You got it. Breathe, Ashley. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now from here, come into tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, on your next inhale, come down onto your forearms. Nope, not forearm plank, just come down onto your forearms. Up to down dog. Come back
Oh,
to
got
down dog.
it. Okay, we're working here. Sorry.
Down to forearms. Up to down dog. Down to forearms. Up to down dog. Down to forearms, and then walk your feet out to plank. You give yourself permission to come off your mat. Lots of people don't give themselves permission to come off their mat. Breathe here, Ashley. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. You're probably saying at home, how many forearm planks you can ever do? Exhale. Inhale. And take a child pose again. So we're just warming up for what we're really going to do here. We're going to have Ashley do so we're going to do a little fitness while we're doing this. We're going to add
This has not been fitness.
This has not been fitness at all. This has all been cardio. It's all been like wondering what's next, right? The power of being present. Breathe here, Ashley. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now, on your next inhale, let's set ourselves up for success by coming into forearm plank. I promise you this will be less than 30 seconds of your life. Shift your weight forward. Now, inhale, drop the knees. Exhale, lift. Keep the toes touched. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift.
Wait,
Keep
okay,
the toes
keep
touched.
toes touched.
Yep, inhale, drop, and lift. So what are we working at? Lower core, pelvic floor. Just drop the knees. Don't drop the hips. Just drop the knees. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just tap the knees. There you go. And now, drop the knees and hold. Breath in. Breath out. Now, inhale, lift the knees. Now, bring your right knee to right elbow and back.
Oh gosh, okay.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it in just 30
Okay,
seconds.
it's interesting because for me, the right knee to right elbow, it's a lot tighter in forearm plank.
But you're twisting. Don't twist.
Oh, okay, yeah, right and right
and
is on the same side.
Yes, it is.
So he's very technical like that. I'm going to excuse myself and go to kindergarten. And
There you go.
I was looking, it's hard to get it.
So these are called spider crunches.
Whew.
So try to stay straight and just bring the knees out to the sides.
Okay.
Take a moment. Just take a moment. Just do 2 on each side for the viewing audience. One. Good. Now 2 on the other side. One. Child pose.
Okay.
So just so you can see, viewing audience, that there are many different things you can do to spice up your class. So if you have those people that seem like they're doing everything so easy, spice up the class a little bit by doing a little fitness. If people are saying, I want a little bit more fitness in the yoga class, You know, you can add a little spice to it, add a little heat to it. You can do a whole entire yoga class just with forearm plank. You can do 90 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. You can do a whole thing. You asked me, I've even built, a couple of weeks ago, we built a whole class on just chair pose, remember? Which is another one of my favorites. Breathe, Ashley. So Ashley's heart rate is up. Trust me. You see the ShareLove.Fund, emblem or logo just popping up and down off her shirt. The back of the shirt there. Believe me, her arms are tired. Her core's gonna be a little sore tomorrow. But mostly, she's gonna feel like toast later. No, I'm just teasing. So now I want to make Ashley's arms very happy. How are we gonna make her arms happy? I'm gonna have Ashley lie down on her belly and then bring her arms out to shoulder height. And then, no, land on the ground. Arms on the ground. Good. So I'm gonna have Ashley pick up her entire right leg. Bring it all the way over towards the left side of the mat. Onto the ground. Keep your right arm. Keep your right arm. Yeah. Now walk your right leg behind you. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Good. Keep good. Good job, Ashley. Now, do you feel this stretch across the top of your right hip and in your left shoulder?
Yeah, this stretch is so cool. In all my days, I've never done a spinal twist like this.
Yep.
And it gets a deeper stretch in your shoulder.
Deeper stretch in your shoulder. You start to feel it in your forearms as well. And then you're stretching your hip flexor. We used all those muscles. We're stretching the right hip flexor as well.
Something like this is great when you're so tired but you can't fall asleep. You know, because it's a release.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I have a whole bunch of new stretches for you this year. I've been practicing. I've been doing some R&D over the last week. I've had 10 days off to do R&D. So here we are.
I'm the guinea pig.
Yes. Now stack your right foot on top of your left. Good. Now slide your right hand in towards the body and then come over onto your left shoulder more. Roll over onto, roll to your left shoulder more. There you go. Breathe. Just a little bit more weight, a little bit more pressure on that shoulder. Feel it into the forearm a little bit too. Bicep,
Yes,
front of the shoulder.
right. My shoulder's super tight.
Good.
Like with this, when you feel the tension, I always ask myself, what are you holding on to?
Yes.
And what will happen if you just let go?
Let go, yeah. Or breathe into it and feel your way into it. You know, a lot of times, also, I think people, when it comes back to what we started with practicing the pause, taking time for yourself, sometimes, believe it or not, there are people, and I am guilty of this at times, I go in and out of this, I'm afraid to be alone with my thoughts. So sometimes in stillness, people are afraid to be alone with their thoughts. So that's an avoidance. I would say lean in. The happiest place you can be is to lean into everything you don't want to feel. Poses you hate, do them the most. Why? Because those poses are where the growth are. Where you'll begin to appreciate how your body feels, how your body moves. Now from here, gently, gently, gently slide yourself onto your belly. So slide your right arm away and come onto your belly. And rest for a moment. Rest. So keep your left arm right where it is, right arm right where it is. Pick your left leg up, bring it behind you and onto the earth. Beautiful. Slide your left arm forward. Yeah. So I'm just gonna make one little adjustment.
This side is so much tighter.
Tighter?
Yeah.
Ease into this. Ease into this. So if it's tighter, just leave this here and just bring this foot a little bit more forward. So are you feeling the shoulder or are you feeling the hip?
I feel it here.
Okay.
And my shoulder.
Shoulder.
And here, but also I think that every time I do something new for the first time, my body just like gets all up in arms, like, who's the manager? I want to speak to the manager. And it's just like, heck no, I'm not going to do it. Like, I feel like that's kind of like what a first request is, and then later it gets into it. So I'll try to breathe into it. I'll try to lean in, but my body's kind of just freaking out at the moment.
It's okay. So I'm just gonna make one little adjustment. Breathe.
But it's like, I think it's like more in this area.
So getting oblique with this as well. And if you ever wanted to, you can also do this for support. Is that a little bit better?
It's okay, but this hip is really tight.
Tight. So then to get this hip loose, you would just simply just keep the knee bent. And that gets the front of this thigh into that hip. So I'm having her stay on this side longer. Why? Because she's tighter. So we need to hold it longer. Don't always stretch. Your body's not symmetrical. You were born symmetrical, but believe me, over time we develop habits where we're tighter on one side, weaker, stronger on the other. Honor that. And then slowly stack your left leg on top of your right. And then slide your left hand in a little bit more. Lean over onto your right shoulder more if you can. Breathe, Ashley. Good. Good. She's feeling her bicep, her forearm, all that good stuff here. So we used our arms a lot in this practice today. So we're going to do another deep stretch called puppy pose. And then very slowly begin to come onto your belly. And then gently press yourself back into child pose. Rest those arms in your child pose. Bring your knees as far apart as the mat so that your lower back gets nice and stretched out. And then bring your arms alongside you. So I'm going to do Ashley a little favor here. There's a smile under that head.
The best part is a certified massage therapist at Presence Wellness, the spa he recently opened in Westport, Connecticut. And if anyone is lucky enough to be in the area, look him up because it makes working out worth it.
So working on her thighs a little bit just to loosen her up. And you can do this for your clients when you have private clients. Or if you have a small group class. Always ask permission. I didn't ask for permission yet this year, but I know I do have the permission. And you can press the sacrum. And I'm not pressing down, I'm just pressing to open up the spine a little bit more. Get a little stretch in the back. And then from here, Ashley, what I'll ask you to do is just bring your arms directly out in front of you. And bring your forehead out to the back, just like that. Good. Now, bring your elbows a little closer towards your ears. Good. And now interlace your hands. And then bring your hands overhead.
Like lift them up?
Nope. Just bring your hands. Keep your hands interlaced. Yeah,
Oh,
there you go. The other overhead. Now walk your elbows forward. More. Forward, not in. That's it. Forward. The other forward. Yeah, keep going.
I don't know that. Oh wait,
Now,
like my tailbone can come up?
Your tailbone can come up, and then now press your tailbone down without sliding your elbows. And see if you can place your chin onto the mat.
Okay, sorry, there's like a hair issue, but okay.
She's eating your hair today. Now bring your hands to the back of your head. Good job. Big stretch in your triceps, huh?
That feels really great. It's like I feel like it's a great like almost precursor stretch for eagle because I feel like it's stretching the lateral part of my back. I don't even know why it's an opener for that area.
Oh, it's a big time opener because you're stretching your lat muscle starts down here and it comes off the side. So you're stretching your lat muscle and you're getting your tricep as well.
Yeah.
And then you're stretching your mid back to the back of the neck and you're expanding your chest too.
This is amazing, and I feel like you really can only do this on a mat, like not really on a bed, because you almost need that,
Stability?
yeah, stability, or else your elbows will slide, you won't get as deep of a stretch. This is such a great upper back stretch. I recommend it to a friend. Obviously, nothing can be medical advice. See a doctor. This is just general guidance for non-medical issue people, but this is such a good upper back stretch.
Very good upper back stretch. And then very slowly begin to bring your hands onto the ground and come back to a child pose for a moment.
And I'm gonna say something else because I guess I'm talkative today. But I found out through yoga, and actually Peter, I don't know, maybe you told me this or another teacher, but basically when you're really stressed out about something, you can solve the problem by talking to someone about what you're stressed out about, and sometimes after talking to it, big problems don't seem so big. But you can also solve some problems just by moving. And after a yoga class, even though you haven't really reconciled that work issue or relationship issue, sometimes it just doesn't seem like such a big deal anymore after you exercise. And I think that a lot of times we hold tension in our upper back. So my point is, doing this stretch, I feel like there could be something that you could feel like is the end of the world, but you could do this stretch, and even though you haven't actually directly solved that problem you were stressed out about, I just don't think that problem is going to have you so tightly wound up after you do this stretch. I think that just doing this stretch can actually solve some things indirectly just by changing your perspective about it.
Exactly what it is. Shifting the energy shifts the perspective. Okay, Ashley, now I'm going to ask you to come over onto your back and hug your knees to chest. You made it.
Well, it feels great, so thank you.
And now I'm going to ask you to come into a happy baby. So she stretched out her chest, shoulders, upper back, triceps, mid back, lower back, back of the neck. All the muscles she used for her forearm plank. This way her arms hopefully won't be as sore tomorrow from all the forearm planks. Beautiful. Now I'm going to ask you to straighten out the legs. Good. Get the hamstring stretched. And then very slowly plant the feet onto the earth.
This is also really good massage on the back.
Is it? Plant the feet onto the earth and then walk your feet out in front of you. Come for a brief savasana. Do you need a blanket?
No.
Or eye pillow?
No, I'm good.
Palms face up and alongside you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just notice how you feel. Inhale, fill the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. very slowly and very mindfully begin to bring awareness back to the body. Begin to wiggle the fingertips and wiggle your toes. Gently, gently rotating the head from side to side. Drawing your knees in towards your chest. Coming over onto either the right or left side. And then pressing yourself up into a seated position. Coming back to where we started, to where our intention was, closing our eyes for just a brief moment. And drawing our hands to heart center. Bowing our chin to chest. In honor of us taking the time to be here, to be present, to be playful, to honor ourselves in movement, in mindfulness, in all phases of us. And out of the programming of always doing, and just be, pausing. Taking a moment to stop, reflect, taking a breath for ourselves. Self-care is so overlooked in this country. We're applauded for working 15-hour days with no lunch, no dinner, not seeing our family, and frowned upon by spending time and quality time with people we love. And as we lift our head in gratitude for this moment and every moment that follows, the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste. I just want to add to that, having self-care does not mean not getting ahead in business. It's remarkable to me the success of French companies, and these are companies where there is an emphasis on making a great product and also taking August off for vacation. And there is a point in economics that we learn of diminishing returns. And it is true, it can be both nourishing for yourself, but also better in business to emphasize quality instead of quantity. And I like to always advocate work smarter, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean more hours, but work smarter. So when you try to balance self-care, but also your ambition, think about how can I reconcile these two things by working smarter. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much. If you are not already signed up for our RYT 200, you can enroll at ShareLove.Fund/train. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,